Hello! Today is Saturday, March 28th, and we at Kanawha Christian Reformed Church are reading Mark chapter 7, verses 31 through 37. Then Jesus left the vicinity of Tyre and went through Sidon, down to the Sea of Galilee, and into the region of the Decapolis. There some people brought to him a man who was deaf and could hardly talk, and they begged Jesus to place his hand on him. After he took him aside, away from the crowd, Jesus put his fingers into the man's ears. Then he spit and touched the man's tongue. He looked up to heaven with a deep sigh and said to him, Ephphatha, which means, be opened. At this the man's ears were opened, his tongue was loosened, and he began to speak plainly. Jesus commanded them not to tell anyone, but the more he did so, the more they kept talking about it. People were overwhelmed with amazement. He has done everything well, they said. He even makes the deaf hear and the mute speak. In this story, Jesus is in the territory of the Gentiles, meaning people who were not Jews. Now, Jesus was a Jew, his disciples were Jews, and at this time, Jewish people had an interesting relationship with people who weren't Jews. They tended to look down on non-Jews to kind of keep their distance from them. But Jesus is here among the Gentiles, and he doesn't stay away from them. He sees this man who's not Jewish and who also has these disabilities, something that would cause people in that time to look down on him, to think that he was less than them in some way, to think that he was maybe a sinner to have caused these things to happen. But Jesus comes and pulls him aside and touches him, puts his fingers in his ears, spits and touches his tongue. And that may seem strange or gross, but in doing this, Jesus shows his acceptance of this man by reaching out and touching him. And I think that's a beautiful picture of God's love for people that we maybe wouldn't think are lovable. And so that's what I find fascinating about this passage. If you have insights, things that stood out to you, questions that were raised, please feel free to share those below. But thanks again for watching, and have a wonderful day.